Yes, what do you think, sir?
I don't agree.
Oh, look, come and have a discussion. That's not an argument. Come and have a discussion. Let's see if you could hold your own. You can't. Let's see if you could hold your own, sir. You say you disagree. Come and let's talk about it. Wonderful, wonderful. Let's talk about it. So what do you disagree with?
When you're saying equal rights for all humans,
Yes.
do you also mean that to immigrants?
Yes.
So you think that immigrants should not be kicked out?
I honestly do not understand immigration law, but they should be treated as image bearers of God. So I agree with you on that.
So you don't think that people in government should be able to protect themselves?
I think they should be,
in war?
protect themselves in war. No, what I'm talking about is that little innocent babies that are human beings and human life in the womb should have equal justice so that we don't have legal protection to kill them. That's why I'm here.
Right, but say that you have a young girl, 12 years old,
Yeah.
who was raped
Terrible.
by
Yep. That man should be, father, whoever, should be prosecuted under the full weight of law. I would even advocate for the death sentence for such a human being. So I have no problem with that. But why would we kill, let me ask you this question, I'll let you talk. Why would we kill that innocent little baby that's a product of such a heinous act?
Well, the mother also has the right to decide, because she would leave.
Decide what? To kill her own innocent baby?
Well, think about the mental status of that female.
Sure, she should kill the baby?
But should she live with that child for the rest of her life?
Not necessarily should give up for adoption, but why should she have the special murder rights to kill a human being? Do you believe that human beings should have protection under the law?
I think that there has to be exceptions.
Well, exceptions, like the Nazis said that. We want exceptions with the Jews. And during slavery times, they said, we want exceptions for the slaves because we wanted to redefine it. So you have a philosophy that thinks that there should be exceptions for the right to kill another human being. Am I understanding you?
Yes.
Okay, and what are those exceptions that a person should have to kill it?
An example of a rape.
At what point should we, I mean, here's a 2-year-old product of rape. There are people here in Hartford. Should we kill them?
No.
Why not?
That's morally wrong.
Why? Why is it not morally wrong to kill the person that's in the womb, and it's not morally wrong, it's morally wrong to kill them outside of the womb?
There is also, we need to have into account that mother.
Sure.
Whether or not that mother.
It's a terrible thing.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking.
But the mother has her body, right?
Yeah.
But when a egg is fertilized, that's a whole different body, is it not?
Well, why is it? Because.
Does it have its own DNA?
But is it God's decision of that?
Ultimately speaking, God says, thou shalt not murder. And by murder, he means taking the life of innocent human beings. Oh, of course it does, in the Bible.
In the Bible, God has asked for a father to kill his own son in a biblical times.
Jesus Christ was fully God and fully man, and so God the Father allowed there and called upon his Son to die on behalf of sinners, just such as you and I. So when Jesus Christ, who was fully God and fully man, voluntarily went to the cross to die on behalf of sinners, I look upon his death and his punishment in place of my punishment, so that when I trust in him...
He came to not change the law.
No, of course not.
And
he said, I came to fulfill the law.
Read the Old Testament, there are so many instances, even with Noah, when God killed everybody.
God is the author of life. God is the author of life.
Yeah.
But we human beings are not. So he says to us as human beings, thou shalt not murder. So that human life in the womb, is it a human life?
But in the Old Testament, it says that if you worked on Saturdays, you were right to kill somebody because
they broke the law, and that was under the Israel's civic law. Yeah. So certainly they broke it, but they were not innocent. But I'm arguing for the innocence of little human beings in the womb.
What do you think were in the womb of a woman when the flood came in?
God had the right to take life as he chooses, but human beings do not have the right to take the life of innocent human beings. So you're advocating...
No, I'm not advocating. Jesus accepts that we're all sinners.
Yes.
And that we have to come to him to actually be
That's
repented.
Right. That's right.
And so many women or men or civilizations or societies or governments are going to try to make the best decisions for Earth. And Jesus said, "What's for Caesar is for Caesar, and what is for God is for God."
And God's law is over Caesar.
Right, but he separated what is for Caesar is for Caesar. And
Right. What is Caesar's? What is Caesar's?
The rule of law at the time.
In Romans chapter 13, it says that the role of the government, it is a deacon of God to carry out the sword, to bring justice to evildoers, evil defined by what God says is evil. So evil, according to the Ten Commandments, murdering another human being is murder, and therefore is against God's law. So we should not have special murder rights to kill those babies.
There were laws that would say that if you committed a crime against your husband,
what does that have to do with
you would have the right to kill, to throw rocks?
The government would have, they would have to have a trial. They would have to have a trial, and they are not innocent human beings. I'm talking about innocent life in the womb. Is it a human life in the womb?
To be honest with you, I'm not a scientist, so I don't know.
You don't have to be a scientist. At the moment of fertilization, we have something that's alive.
Are you saying that women don't?
Let me ask you this question.
Decide what happens to their bodies?
I am saying they do have a right, but they do not have a right to decide what happens to the body inside of her body.
Okay.
Because that's a separate body.
Right, but
So you're a separate body, right? I don't have a right to decide what you do with your body, but I do with mine. The mother has a body inside of her body, so she does not have the right to kill that body inside of her body.
When I have a difference of opinion, because what I'm thinking is that the woman does have that right
Why?
to decide what happens inside her body, whether or not that child is a human being or not. We have a difference of opinion.
You don't think it's a human being?
No, I think that the mother has the right to decide.
So the mother has a right to decide whether she can kill another human being or not.
If she was raped, yes.
So you think that in cases of rape, a woman should be able to commit the act of murder?
No, I think.
Wait,
there are certain
you just said no.
I said that women has the right, and in those certain limited occasions, yes.
That she should have a right to commit the act of
And I
murder.
think a lot of Democrats and Republicans now do agree that they're very limited.
Oh yeah, I mean, no, not at all. They do, because Donald Trump also believes much of, the pro-choice rhetoric, but I am saying there is an absolute value of human beings, and if you tried or anyone else tried to kill another human being, I would do everything I could to stop that, because even from the moment of fertilization, that's a human being, it's a human life made in the image of God and should have equal rights for all human beings.
So you and I disagree, but I appreciate you bringing me back to speak to it.
I appreciate you coming back, and you're a very intelligent man, and I appreciate that. Your relativistic philosophy was in vogue in Soviet Russia. It was in vogue in Mao China and in Adolf Hitler's time, and in other times where the government redefines what's a human being and says who can and cannot be killed under the guise of law. So I'm asking for equal justice for all human beings. What's your name, sir? It's good talking with you.
My first name is Warner.
Warner, it's nice to meet you. I'm Norman Patterson.
My pleasure.
Yeah, it's a good conversation. Think about it a little bit more.
I do, and I appreciate your perspective.
Yeah, thank you, sir. God bless you, sir.